What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, I'm Melissa. So today I will be doing a reaction slash commentary, whatever you want to call it, to And Just Like That. What season are we at? Oh, season 2, episode 3. I believe it's called chapter 3. But before we get started, I want to remind you guys that I'll be doing a reaction every single week. So if you don't want to miss it, hit subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Hitting that thumbs up really costs you nothing. It is free and it really helps me out so that the algorithm can pick up on my video and then it pushes it out to more people. And also, thumbs up and comments really help to keep creators motivated so that we can continue creating content for you guys if you are enjoying it. So let's make it happen. I'm trying to get to 700 subs. Let's do it. Let's start watching the episode. All right, we've got Max up. And then, very important, I have my coffee. Let's do this. And I'm back. Just got done finishing watching chapter 3, which was an episode that had the theme of dealing with grief in different ways. Yes, we know that Carrie is now a widow and she is now in year 2, still grieving her husband. And she is surprised by her lack of not being able to move on as quickly as she would have liked. And she is struggling with not wanting to feel sorry for herself. I think in her head, she feels like, well, this is already year 2. It's been some time now. I should be okay. Why am I still going through these emotions? Why can't I get through recording chapter 3 of my new book? Because in this episode, it's all about how she's trying to record this new personal memoir, which has to do with this new chapter in her life. And in this chapter, this is when she's going through losing her husband, and she is struggling to record this certain chapter. She has to go through it. The scene goes on for a while. She has to go through recording the exact moment when she walked into her apartment and then she saw Big on the floor and she had to pick up his body and whatnot. So of course that is very hard to get through. That's understandable why she is having problems with it. And I think she feels a little bit embarrassed. And that is why she tries to get out of it by lying to her publisher and all her friends that she has COVID and therefore will not be able to record the book. So then that leads her to hope that her publisher is going to get instead one of the actresses in Hollywood to record the book instead. But the joke's on her because her publisher tells her, guess what? I got you another week, to Carrie's horror. But at the end of the day, that was the best thing that was going to happen, because I think for Carrie, she just had to go through her emotions, meaning she had to go through her grief, but she also had to get over her guilt of not being able to move on and letting yourself feel the sadness. Sometimes you will not be able to get out of bed and you're going to feel guilty about that because you think to yourself, well, I should be over this already. I'm stronger than this. But sometimes it's going to be okay for you to not be able to get out of your bed, to let yourself feel. And then eventually recognize that, okay, there's a moment where I do need to get out of bed because there's a life out there that I still need to live, like my job and meeting up with my friends and whatnot, and just continuing to live your life. So I really like that this episode explored that. And it also explored that with 2 other characters, which is Lisette, Carrie's neighbor, and also Seema. Although they did not have to deal with the grief of losing someone they loved, there are different things that are important to certain people. So for Seema, she gets her Birkin bag stolen, and it seems very materialistic. But first of all, Birkin bags are very, very expensive. I think anybody whose Birkin got stolen would be upset about that. I mean, I would be very upset about that. But for her, it's about what the bag represented. That is what she gifted herself when she made her first big sale. So that represents her hard work and what she rewarded herself with. So I think it's understandable why she would be upset that got stolen. And then Lisette gets all of her jewelry and whatnot stolen from her big fashion show. It was a very, very weird thief scene, in my opinion. Like, he had the audacity to just start picking up jewelry and stuffing it in his bag. This catering waiter person, I don't really know. But he's doing it and just like with confidence, just putting things in his pocket. There's no weapons whatsoever. And then he has the audacity again to ask Seema and Carrie for their jewelry. Again, he's not even holding up any sort of gun or whatever. But to make him stop, Seema takes out a gun to make him stop and run away. He does run away, but it's not a real gun. It is a fake gun. It's a lighter. But that was, I think, a really weird scene. I was just like, just tell him no. It's like, why? And then the thing that causes the chaos is not the thievery, which I guess makes sense because he has no weapon, but it's because Carrie yells out, "There's COVID!" Chaos ensues. But anyway, all of Lisette's stuff gets stolen. But again, it's stuff that she has worked for, and she really worked hard to make this fashion show happen. It was her dreams, but then that gets taken away from her because her stuff gets stolen. So towards the end of the episode, Lisette is laying down in her bed, very upset, and Carrie sees this. And I think in this moment, Carrie kind of sees a little bit of herself in Lisette because Lisette is not able to get out of her bed because she's very upset about this. And Carrie is really there for her, bringing in chocolate and just bringing in her company. And she lets her know that it's okay to feel this, but eventually you do have to get out of your bed. So it's kind of like she's self-projecting, letting herself know this as well. And then eventually we see Carrie is able to go ahead and record chapter 3. So I liked that. I liked this because it's not only showing the whole grief part, but there's a variety of different disappointments that you go throughout in life, whether it's the loss of someone or it's your life's work. Those are things that obviously mean something to people. So I really enjoyed seeing the journey of that. There is also this Milf list going around at Lisa and Charlotte's kids' school, which is sometimes I feel like the writers just put in stuff to just put in stuff as filler, but whatever. We'll go ahead and break it down. And I guess this is the purpose of this list for them was to make them feel like I still got it. Okay. Like at first they have to act like, this is super, super appalling. Some student in this school made a MILF list. For you guys who don't know what MILF stands for, it stands for Mom, I'd like to F. So at first they have to act like this is very, very offensive, but they are very curious to see where they ranked in this list. And I believe they are numbers 2 and 3. So they are very excited because, as the women, as they get older, let's be honest, they want to feel like they still got it. So they feel offended, but also flattered that somebody, child, thinks that they still look very good. And can I say the really, really weird scene is the scene where they see who the culprit is, and it's this redheaded kid, but the way the camera pans is that like we're also supposed to think that this kid is fine. I'm sorry, the kid looks like a kid. This is like a high school kid. This is not taking place in college. This is not some intern who just graduated college. The kid is a kid. That was a super weird scene for me. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then we are cutting back to LA where Miranda is trying to live her best life with Shay. Miranda wants a tattoo and she feels like she needs to commemorate this time in her life where she labels it her pretend life, which is interesting. Like, does she know eventually it's all going to come crashing and burning? So she wants this tattoo. She's supposed to attend this live taping for Shay because Shay is filming their pilot for this show that they're doing. And Miranda ruins it because she takes her phone with her and the phone goes off during the taping. And because it's not really coming naturally to them. They are kind of struggling with filming this emotional scene because they feel like it's not really real, it's fake. So I think Shay is kind of going through their own journey where they feel like maybe they're compromising on some of their artistry. So that will be something that they'll maybe explore further in this season. And Miranda is really struggling with navigating this relationship, I think, because it's like, well, I'm still my own person. I am also a mom, but I'm also in this new relationship. And this is someone that I really care about. But hey, guess what? I'm a mom and I have this kid who sounded really desperate and kind of suicidal in this phone call. I liked seeing her freak out because that is a freak out moment where your child's calling you and they're going through this really horrible thing, this breakup from their very first love, and he needed his mom at that moment. So I don't fault her for kind of freaking out. and flying back home to New York. I really didn't love how Shay kind of tried to minimize that. Like, I hope that they would have been more understanding. Although it is also understanding that the taping was kind of ruined because acting is something that's a whole other ballgame. It doesn't come super naturally to them. So that's understanding why they would be upset. But I had hoped that they would also be a little bit more compassionate towards Miranda because she is also going through something with her son. I mean, at the end of the day, she is a mom and she's a mom first. And then in this episode, we also see Naya and Lisa are working on this documentary together. I think I said in the last episode, which by the way, if you guys don't know, I did do a commentary on episodes 1 and 2 premiere that you can check out right here. I am kind of like rooting for a divorce because Naya and her husband, I feel like just don't work. They're not compatible. They want different things. So it's like separate. So I did raise my eyebrows at that sound guy reaching down her shirt to fix her mic. Like, I'm sorry, like you're a dude who I don't know. Why are you reaching down my shirt? Let me do it myself. But he is fine and he is cute. And I think, you make concessions for people you think are cute. I get it. But that was just crossing the line a little bit for me. But I am rooting for her for getting his number. I don't love that she hasn't separated or divorced from her husband just yet. But again, he was an asshole who said, well, I could cheat on you. I don't know. Like, but so I'm rooting for her to find her happiness for sure. So I will be rating each episode 1 out of 5 flowers, and I'm choosing flowers because flowers are very much a part of Carrie's wardrobe throughout the entire series and the movies. So I'm gonna stay on brand. I will give this episode 4 flowers because it kept me engaged and I liked the themes of exploring the grief and the different levels of it and just going through it. I don't always love every single storyline. Like so far, I feel like Charlotte's storylines feel like filler. Like, what is the purpose? What is the context? How is it fitting the overall theme of the episode? Charlotte's to me has like the weakest storylines out of all of them. But because I liked the other ones, it didn't detract my overall enjoyment. So I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 flowers. And yes, let me know what you rate the episode as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me as I comment or rant or complain or enjoy each episode. Like I said before, I'll be reacting to every single episode this season. So hit the subscribe button and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment because all of that really helps the algorithm to pick up on this video. And also, if you are enjoying a creator's content, it really, really helps out so that we know that, someone out there is watching and enjoying, and that will help us to motivate to continue creating the content. There's different playlists down in the description below in case you're a Bridgerton fan, which you might be because I am as well. If you're a Bridgerton fan, I have a lot of Bridgerton content that will be on the playlist below. For Bridgerton, I will be doing more content for that when the season 3 drops and when the trailer drops. I'm super excited about that. And yeah, so if you want to share this with your Sex and the City loving friends, that'd be cool too. Let's create a Sex and the City club. I'm looking at my dog because he's so cute. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you guys next time.